A company voluntary arrangement, or CVA, is essentially a formal agreement between the company and its unsecured creditors to repay them as much as the company can afford over an extended period of time. From our many years of experience, we have found that most creditors wish to support struggling companies and will take some comfort in the fact that the company is taking independent professional advice in order to resolve the financial situation. A strong, honest, carefully constructed and affordable strategy will almost always be preferable to hope-based strategies and promises that may have been made by the company or directors in the past. Once we have told creditors that we've been formally appointed, we start work on what we term as the proposal period of the CVA. Often we refer to this as the discovery period. We discover much more about your business, your personal objectives, and we help you build the plan. We will require a lot of information from you and or your nominated representative to build the outline of the proposal before adding the detail. We will ask you to provide a detailed statement outlining the history and circumstances, explaining the past trading of the company, how it got into its present financial position, and what changes have or are intended to be made to ensure the future viability of the company. Creditors will also want us to demonstrate the company's ability to make payments to them throughout the term of the CVA and will be keen to understand how this will be achieved. A CVA is a very powerful restructuring tool. It can be used to make sweeping changes to ensure future viability. You can make surplus or expensive employees redundant, kill off onerous contracts with suppliers, and rid yourself of expensive long-term property or equipment lease contracts, all at no cash cost to the company. Based on the information provided by the company, our team will build a formal statement of affairs, which is a legal requirement which will show the company's assets versus its liabilities. A comparison of outcome will also be prepared showing creditors what we'd expect them to receive if they approved the CVA scheme versus what any return might be if they did not. It is worth noting that creditors will often get a minimal or nil dividend payment if they do not support the scheme and let the company fail. We will prepare detailed financial forecasting for the period of the proposed CVA, demonstrating viability of the company and its ability to pay creditors a monthly contribution throughout the CVA term. It's at this point that we calculate what the company can afford to repay each month. Bear in mind this might not be equivalent to 100 pence in the pound. It's all down to affordability. Once all these parts have been completed, we will hand your case to one of our licensed insolvency practitioners who is required to act as the CVA nominee for the scheme. You'll be required to meet with the nominee. His job is to ensure that the proposal is fit, fair and feasible. In other words, has the proposal been put together properly? Is it fair to the creditors? And in the best of our knowledge, is the scheme going to work? The nominee will then ask for the court to ratify the proposal, following which it will be distributed to creditors. The nominee will then inform creditors that there will be a CVA creditors meeting held on a specific date for them to vote on the proposal. We are legally required to provide the creditors with a minimum of 14 days to consider the proposal prior to the creditors meeting, but generally allow 21 days as HMRC can often take a little more time to assess the proposal. Once creditors have had the chance to read and consider the proposal, the meeting is held and creditors vote to accept the proposal or reject it. Of those creditors that vote, and not everyone does, we need 75% by value to vote in favour of the proposal for it to be approved. It's only at this point that the creditors formally approve the proposal that the company then officially is in a CVA. The company can generally expect to make the first contribution about 14 days after the meeting, and then of course it continues to make payments throughout the CVA scheme. The CVA period can be between 1 and 5 years long. If you think your company and its creditors could benefit from a company voluntary arrangement, please give us a call on 0800 9700 539 to discuss the matter further.